Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to Swift N808 with my two players, Andrew and Kyle. We are playing L5R 4th edition and have started our road to the Tomb of Ichiban, or at least my version of it, since I don't usually follow modules to the letter. The players have left Ryokuroi, the city of stories, the city of lies, and are traveling to Kami no Okasan, which is a village that borders Crablands over by Earthquake Bay. It's a small hamlet in that region. The guys have been traveling for about a good week, and Kyle has dropped. But we will, and he's back. So the party has traveled on for about a week. In their party is a lion magistrate who has requested your services on solving a murder in this small hamlet town. Again, this town borders between the crab and the lion. The two characters, the Hida and Yukomo has been asked by the Imperials to assist the Emerald Magistrate in his investigation on behalf of this lion magistrate. Those traveling with them is Yoko, and that is all that I believe the two of you guys are traveling with by yourselves, plus Yoko and the lion magistrate. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're correct, yes, sir.
So it takes you guys about a week to get to Kami no Okasan. And as you arrive, the sun is twinkling merrily in the sky and children are playing in the streets. Again, this is a small hamlet town on the shores. This is a fisherman's village. You see old men skinning fish and repairing nets. You see women making rice in large groups for the village. And as you approach, the lion magistrate that had sent for you comes out from a small, what you assume is a tea house. You see the kanji on the wall that says that this is the Tea of Petals of Dawn Tea House. And he comes out and says, greetings, Hida-san, Komo-san, for accepting my invitation and to help me investigate this murder. The local representatives of the village are inside the tea house, and I'd like you to meet them so we can give you a little information on the village. He'll bow again, and unless you stop him, he makes his way inside.
What did he say his name was, or did he?
He hasn't given his name yet.
And there's children playing in the sunshine, and I'll just not say anything and follow him.
What kind of door greeter is this person? We don't even know his name.
The guy that greeted you is actually the magistrate, and he hasn't given you his name. But coming out, as you guys enter the tea house, again, it is a small two-story tea house, very quaint, very low standards to some of you. The crab, maybe not so much, but to you and Imperial, it is pretty bland, pretty not too extravagant. And coming out of a small room, the Soji screen opens up, and you notice that a tall woman comes forth. She bows low and says, I am Asawa Shinko. I am also curious. My family has sent me to make sure that we bring home the body of our dead family member and to find out what your findings are.
How fair is Asawa?
She's good looking.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how would because Hide right now he's in the wife business.
I don't know. On looks, probably a 3 or 4 out of 10. You don't know family information yet. But again, she beats probably 40% of the crab women you may have hooked up with in your past.
That's not a fair assessment. Crab women automatically qualify as like Tumblr dites.
Now, some crab women are attractive-ish.
They might rate like a whole 2.5.
And she leads you guys into the small room that she's reserved for this meeting. The magistrate turns and says, "Oh, forgive my manners. You both lose 1 point of honor for not correcting him for not introducing himself. Actually, he loses the honor. Excuse me, you do not lose the honor." And then he turns over and says, "This is Mayo Jimbo Karimoko. This is the Phoenix Cygnus. He was hired to watch over me. You guys know that he is not carrying any mons upon his personage."
He's a bushi.
Yeah.
How's he carrying himself here? Am I very impressed by the way he's acting?
He's just watching over, seems kind of relaxed. He bows low. Hida-sama. Komo-sama.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Asawa and Karimoko. And I'll give him a little bow.
He bows again. And she sits. Moments later, a small child, probably 7 or 8, enters with a tray of tea, some rice, and some other small food items that you can choose from. Kind of a buffet style. You choose what you want. Lays it down before you. And the Phoenix turns and says, "I have heard about your exploits at the Ryokurori's Bond Festival. Quite diligent in your duties, Madam Magistrate."
My eyes will look over to the Akomo, taking note of my company, and I'll say, I did what duty demanded that I do. Thank you.
Your valor, along with your companion, I believe it was Akoto, is quite exemplary. She raises her tea glass to you. You see the magistrate turns and says, "Yes, I've been discussing with them the reasons for asking you to come because of your abilities in the City of Stories. We believe that you are the best person to solve this, and asked Imperials to involve themselves as well. That is why the Komo-sama is here as well."
Well, Clay, I don't want to upset a fan. Could I do? I want to do perform oratory, and I want to say something a little bit clever and poetic here.
Okay, you set the target number. Raises will make you look better. Hand gestures, looking at them in a certain way. Giving the whole appearance. So it's up to you.
All right, let's say 25 would be what I want.
Okay.
So Clay, while he's doing that, I want to go with a courtier manipulation, which, by the way, I don't lose honor for.
Okay.
Because Matomo, I'm purposely going to try to get these guys a little bit upset. I'm going to be pulling faces while I'm eating their food and dropping hints about how it's just not all that good. And I want them angry. So.
Are you talking about what Hida did over at Ryokurori, or?
No. I'm talking about like the food they bring out to offer us.
Oh, you're gonna critique the food.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull faces. I'm gonna make them feel really bad about it.
Okay.
So I do have manipulation.
Okay, target number will start at 20.
20 for that? Okay.
Raises will add more benefit.
Okay, is there any ones in there? There are not. So we got 110 and there's 17. Even 4, right? 17. 23. 28. 31. Good sir, 31.
Okay. what is your overall goal of what you wish to accomplish besides harassing them a little bit about their food?
I'm trying to make them upset with basically I'm going to make them upset with the with each other, with themselves, with the company, because I'm also going to insinuate that the crab is just too polite to say anything rude.
Okay, it comes across. You notice that the Emerald, or not the Emerald Magistrate, but the Lion Magistrate that is running this investigation has asked for your help, gives you a look, but doesn't say anything. He holds within his temper, but you notice that you've gotten to him. The others, surprising enough, don't seem to have caught on or understand what it is you're trying to do, and they kind of nod.
They're
And
just
go about
taking
with
the
it.
chiding with good grace.
It seems that they are, but the Lion Magistrate seemed to have caught on and was going to say more, but has corrected himself and has made his etiquette not to embarrass himself.
Oh, damn.
And you see, he says, "I am a Kodo Kuin." And there's little in way of actual evidence, and he kind of smirks when he says that, or testimony of others. It seems as if it's been a robbery is the motive. Sometime a few nights ago, during the new moon, someone broke in through the back wall of Kinto's house, the hut that he was staying at, murdered him. The wood of the house rear wall was battered down by someone quite strong, and there are signs of a struggle suggesting that the Sekenja in question was taken by surprise. Goes back to sip his tea as you guys take that in.
Okay.
And he just kind of stops to give you guys a chance to say anything. But if you don't say anything, he continues his report. He says, during my investigation and speaking with his neighbors, Kento was out and about in the early evening hours and reported hearing nothing unusual during the night in which he was killed. This is what he's telling you that the neighbors told him. But it's really hard to believe that the damage that was caused to his home would not alert others, especially the peasants around.
How much damage was caused to it? Like it was just destroyed?
The back wall was broken into. I'll take you there after we break our thirst.
That's good. I'd very much, of course, like to see this broken wall. Being a crab, I guess I have an affinity for walls, you could say. And I'll smile just a little bit of my bad joke.
That's the
It goes
worst
right
joke you've
over his
told of this
head.
entire game.
And it goes over his head, so I'll let it sit for a second and smile, keep smiling. And I'll say, the Caillou wall.
The Atoma is just shaking his head at this point. He could not have done more damage to relationships between you guys than you just did. Because you're talking to a humorless like slug of a freaking lion.
I was there for a while. Does he respond after I say Caillou wall?
No, again, it goes over his head.
I'll get a little bit close and I'll like lean in and I'll say, the Crab Clan, we defend that huge wall, the Carpenter Wall.
And then he goes, forgive me. It's been one of those days.
It's okay. I know I'm funny.
He gives you a polite smile.
Okay, Clay. I want to roll an etiquette here to see if I can hold face and not directly insult the shit out of this lion for being a dumbass. Because that is getting increasingly difficult right now.
If you're trying to do it without not letting him know that you're insulting him, the target number would be 30.
Oh no, I'm straight up. That was a cut, by the way. Okay, so with one. Okay, I'm trying to do it without like basically not losing face. I'm trying not to say something. Basically,
Okay.
my lips are like in a near laughing motion, but I'm trying not to completely fall apart. So I keep on that 4. So I got 10, 14. Ooh, I can spend void to re-roll, right? Another rolls here. Clay.
Yes.
I can void to re-roll, right?
You can use void to add to your roll. I'll let you do it for now. I'm having a brain fart on it, but go ahead.
Well, no.
No, you can't. You can only use it to add a die, a roll
Yeah.
to kept die.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a die because I forgot about I'm supposed to do it technically before.
Before you make your call. Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Because that's gonna put me at 21. So that should be enough to do what I'm wanting to do there without completely losing face. I may lose a little bit, but nowhere near what I was thinking about. The real question is, am I able to actually process that? Was what I was concerned about as a character, that I shouldn't say something there because I'm going to start a fight and I'm not going to mean to. I'm going to get us killed before we go on the investigation. Isn't that about par for our games, though? Unless for some reason you don't want 21 to 20 to be the target number, man, I should be able to save most of my face, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you. I rolled a 21.
You're
Okay.
going to lose. You're going to fail in which to do that, so you lose just 1 point of honor.
Yeah, I figure I'm probably laughing a little bit, but I'm not like directly going to come out. I'm like, you're a fucking moron. Yeah, I'll mark that down here.
He does turn and he does look at you. His eyes do narrow, and his hand is kind of like he's working out a cramp out of his hand underneath the table, and you can see it in his forearm and stuff as he takes that tee up. And he says, and he continues on as if he was not interrupted by the Acomo. And he says, the next morning, a fisherman on his way to work noticed that Quinto's door to his hut was open. He approached, calling out to Quinto and asking if he was all right. He found Quinto lying dead in the main room, his neck broken. There were signs of a struggle, and a fair amount of blood had been spilled. We don't know if it's his blood or he was able to wound his attacker. In any case, the killer had beaten him to death. Several bones were broken. His neck and other bones in his body were covered with fresh bruises. But he looks and says, the body started to rot, and we kept it in line for as long as possible. But we had to have it cremated once as the decay progressed too far.
How big of a man was Kinto?
Not as big as you, but not as small as Akomo-sama here. And he says that while looking at Akomo.
Thomas is going to keep himself in check. He's going to poignantly ask if there's been any known crab activity in this area, because there's very few living or non-Shadowlands things that could cause that kind of damage.
I'm not sure. Nothing has been reported. As you can see, as you rode in, people seem to be happy. It's a small, quiet town.
As I accuse the crab, I'm going to give dirty looks over to Kenpachi.
Kenpachi is going to say, how far is this away from Crabland?
You guys are within a day to get into Crablands. You guys are in Benton Pass. I will send you guys in the because we won't get super far tonight, but I'll send you guys a map so you guys can see that. So find Benton's Pass, which is borderlands of Lion and Crablands, and you guys are right there. This is a small town outside that may or may not be on that map, but I will send that to you.
Okay, that's fine. Is it on the map in the 4E core rule?
I'd have to double check. I don't have it on hand.
Okay, then.
Benton's Pass is.
Wait, yeah,
but this town itself may or may not be.
Between Lion and which lands?
Crablands, and it's right at Earthquake Bay. So if you can find Earthquake Bay, you'll find where it's at.
I'm not seeing Lion. There's lion. I'm looking at. I'm trying to see because in this lion clan doesn't come all the way down. Yeah, it does. There it is. It's really weirdly split up. Is the problem?
Kimpachi's going to say that well, we are within about a day's march of Crablands. That's from the wall, right? A day's march from the wall.
You're a little further than that from the wall. You're at the borderland of your lands.
How far
going
would you
into the
say we
empire.
are from the wall?
On horse, good 2.5 days.
2.5 days.
Walking,
Okay.
probably 4.
I'll say then. Is it possible for something from the Shadowlands to be here? Most certainly. Even the crane and the lion and the phoenix sometimes have creatures of such in their lands. Where we're at, though, in proximity compared to the wall and compared to my lands, very unlikely. However, the Akomo makes a good point. Have you seen any Kuni lately?
One traveled through here, says the magistrate, and we haven't seen him since. He was meeting with Kenta. They had met before his death, but hasn't been seen since. And that reminds me, Makoto, he's the boy that was assisting the Phoenix in his investigations. Makoto is an errand boy, an Edda orphan that was chopping wood, laying fishing lines, and conducting all sorts of menial household duties for Kento. He's missing as well.
Very well. You should be expecting a Kuni to show up here though any time now. I sent out dispatching correspondence. He's going to be on a special mission from Casada. So if he arrives and he doesn't make his way to me before you find out, could you alert me?
If he returns, yes.
A question, Clay.
Yes.
Out of character. What's the moon cycle look like? Or I mean, if it's anywhere around full moon, my character would have rumors and myths that he would lean on. But if not,
if it's not around full moon yet, that had passed days
Okay.
ago during your travels.
Because
that I was just curious because then I would immediately think maybe Lord Moon is involved. But never mind.
Because I've still got that Kuni showing up to relieve me of my mask at some point, Clay. I don't know when he's supposed to get here.
His name was Kuniho.
Kuniho,
and that is
right.
the name that this lion magistrate said came through town.
Oh, so he got
and
here
is
ahead of
missing.
me.
Yeah. So your information was sent out. They sent a bird to deliver your message, and he's saying that within the last, because this happened
Yeah,
a week ago, and this
I
your
understand.
Kuni buddy was here
Yeah,
and
he
met
got
with
here.
Akinto and
was-
hasn't left, and we don't know where he's at as well.
So he wasn't here just solely for me though. He was
No,
here to
he would
meet
have
with
to
that
pass
guy.
by. This is the directest route to get to the City of Stories.
But I told him, I sent him another message to meet us here instead of the City of Stories.
Okay.
I
So
sent him
your guy
that
beat you
last
here.
game. So he beat me here, but he still knows he's supposed to get the mask from me here, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let me change that last thing I said then, because that wouldn't make sense if he gives like the Kuni's name. After he says that, then I'll say the Kuni was sent here by Casada on a special mission. I'm supposed to have correspondence with him. That troubles me that he's missing. If he returns and you learn about it before me, please notify me immediately.
Of course, Hida-sama. We will let you know as soon as he brings word. He was staying at this inn. His items, I believe, are still upstairs.
I'll look at him when he says that, and my eyes will narrow. His items, as in his personal effects.
Correct. He has not left, or so made us aware that he left, but he didn't check out.
Which room is the Kuni staying in?
Yeah, he'll lead you upstairs if you want to follow him now.
Please.
You get upstairs and it's unlocked. You know, the Soji screen is unlocked. You slide the panel over, and this is a very small room. Ouch, bit my lip. That is very minimal. And you see a traveling bag off to the far corner, close to the tatami mat. You see a small shrine set up as well. You see vials of possibly paint. You think this is probably where he puts on his decorative mask when he goes and does his thing. You see that the time mat is folded and off to the side as if no one had slept there. You also see possibly a journal, a very thick scroll with the Mana the Kuni on it, tucked away also next to his traveling baggage. But weapons and other things that he may have on him, you know, day-to-day items that would always be on his person are missing.
Do I see any weaponry?
No.
Okay, that's good. I won't get into his stuff or anything like that then. I'll say thank you. That puts my mind at ease at least a little bit. Wherever he went, he didn't go so unarmed.
And he says, that is why this hasn't come up yet, is because his things are here and it did no sign of struggle. Unlike Kinto's, he was robbed as well, Kinto. I have a
Now,
list of items if you need them.
I'll nod at him and say, "Why, yes, that would be most helpful." The Clay, would it strike me as strange that the way that the Kuni here has organized his stuff? Because I went through like some basic like crab training. Does anything look out of place for our clan?
No, it looks like he came in here. You don't know if he was in a hurry or not, but he kind of set up shop that if he'd come back, he could put on his makeup. He made it where he probably would only be staying the night and wanted to leave early to meet with you, possibly, because he's well packed. It's still packed up. It's like he set it down. You know, he may have made some notes, set that off to the side, kind of under his bag, set up his shrine, set up his painting area, and then went about his business. So it doesn't look anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, I'll be satisfied then, and I'll motion for us to go back downstairs.
Como, what are you doing during this time?
The player's dying.
Gentlemen, we'll go another probably 20 minutes to get a set for the scene and give you guys thoughts, and then play again next Monday.
That's
If you're
fine.
cool with
I like
that.
that. Sorry, man. I as soon as you asked me that, I'm like, hey, perfect time to start hacking along.
You sound like Derek
No,
Zoolander.
Atomo
Dude.
is
I've got the black lung
Atomo's
pop.
actually Atomo's actually currently he's trying to think of anything in his knowledge of the clans or anything that would justify the type of violence that has been described. He's kind of actually weirdly enough keeping to himself, considering how arrogant and foolhardy he is.
Go ahead and give me a perception investigation as you're kind of looking about the room and the area and the people walking by. And you're in a room that has a window, so you see the rest of the village.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Keep it 4, so 12, 17, 22.
22, you see the children playing. You see a small boy and girl kind of peek over, looking into the window that faces you. They've got the the little top knot going on for the little boy, and the little girl's got. They're dirty but happy. The sun just seems to gleam right on them at that exact moment. Hello, Mister.
I'm gonna give them a rare smile. Unfortunately, this character's not married. Actually, he is married. He's married to somebody he hates. And he thinks about how unhappy he would be if he brought any children into the world with that woman. And that's a legitimate thought.
The girl corrects him. He is in a coma. Apologies, Akuma-sama. My little brother did not mean to be rude.
Again, he just gives her gives her an extra big smile. He's very impressed with the quaintness of this village, even though he feels like something's not right. Something very much seems off. Almost
The
like
little
everything
boy,
is too perfect.
the little boy, as you were thinking that, says, "Are you here to save Makoto? He's gone missing. He hasn't come out to play in days."
I'm gonna lean down. Trying to think of what it's called. Money here. Sorry, I'm thinking what the money
Tofu
for. Here's no
or boo?
Zenny. Zenny.
Zenny? Okay, you're cheap.
I'm gonna pull a Zenny out, and I'm gonna hold it in front of him, and I'm gonna ask him to tell me the whole story.
He reaches up to grab it. Again, he's kind of out that window, and you're looking down at him through, and you can. There's holes enough you could reach in, and he could reach in. He's on his tiptoes and says, "Makoto he's here for Kento. Yeah, he works over at Kento's place. You know, Kento's a Sekinja. Kento had him doing all kinds of things. He was cleaning and cooking and fixing nets and all kinds of things. And then he went missing. There's lots of blood, I heard." He starts spewing out all kinds of rumors. He's embarrassing himself.
Yeah. But to me, he's very useful. So.
Did you know that Kento was a Sekenja, and he had lots and lots of scrolls, and he had jade statues of a bird of some kind, and then of a rodent, and then of a snake. Yeah, a snake jade statue. And there were other items, you know. But I remember when I was last seeing there, they're not there. But the most special thing is this mask, this huge porcelain mask, much larger than other masks, is hanging inside the entryway. And then when you walk by, ooh, and he shivers, it would follow you as if it was watching you. And he just starts to shiver a little bit.
As he does that, I'm gonna kind of lean back up and tell him that with his ability to perceive, he will one day make a very fine bushi.
You mean it? I could be a bushi? I don't know. Mama says that Eda cannot become bushy because it is only for samurai.
Like I said, I wasn't sure if he was Eda or not, but I'm just trying to make.
Yeah, he is. He's dirty. He's a dirty little kid.
That's fine. I'm still just trying to make him feel good. He's a little kid.
So, yeah, he starts spewing stuff at you.
So with that, I'm gonna tell him that I have important matters, imperial matters to take care of, and I'm gonna go out and find the Emerald Magistrate. Who's probably at this point coming back down the stairs.
Yep, you guys meet in the main chamber of the tea house.
I am quickly going to ask him what it could mean if he was hanging a giant porcelain mask in a doorway.
When you say that,
information about the Shadowlands than I
do. When you say that, you feel the weight of the mask that's still on you, Hida, but also Yokota says, "Yeah, he did." And he kind of recalls, and he says, "Yeah, there was a catch of scrolls." He's a Sekenja. A pair of jade statues, one of a bird or a dragon of some kind and some kind of serpent. And people that know this man said they weren't there. We couldn't find him during our investigation. And most prominently was a porcelain mask that was hanging from the entryway. And people would say that it felt like this mask was staring at them. Other discoveries that we found was in his basement. He constructed a small basement which held, and then he kind of stops and doesn't say anything. Many broken clay tablets.
Broken clay tablets? What exactly do you mean?
We found that there were many clay tablets with markings on them, scribbles on the floor, along with some type of bowl that apparently had been stained.
Markings, you make it sound like it's some foreign language or some strange script, not Rokugani.
Go ahead and give me a etiquette check.
Can we both do this since we both hear him?
Yes, you can.
Etiquette.
He probably can't read.
He's a lion, so just this side of possible. Okay. 1, 10, 13.
I got a 20.
That's a 13.
Okay. You make it.
13, 22, 30, 38.
You both know that he wants to say something, but it's discourteous to say it. And
Does it start with B and end in loudspeaker?
it starts with M and ends in O.
Okay, that's cool. I'll look at him and I'll say, do not worry. It looks as if you want to say something. In my company, at least, do so freely. I'm Casada's son. I've spent a great deal of time in the wall, and it may even shock you to know that I myself have been in the Shadowlands.
He nods and says, Your heroics is well known. That Hida Casada had adopted you into his clan. He says, we found many black items, several broken clay tablets containing unholy symbols we discovered on the floor, along with a ceremonial bowl filled with appeared to be human blood and a stained brush.
I'm going to ask the poignant question, because that little boy claims there were scrolls everywhere. I'm going to ask him if they found a stash of scrolls.
That was also reported as missing.
That is most disconcerting.
The basement, it seems like it was pretty heavily contaminated. To what degree have your people already been in and cleaned or purified it?
We left it as is until we could get a Sekenja down here to do the job. Yasawa, and she's kind of off to the side talking with the Yojimbo. Being as she is not a magistrate, we had asked her about it, and she's curious to go. But again, we asked for assistance in dealing with this.
The his name was what was his name? The guy that had died. It was Kinto. With a K, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say this place where Kinto lived, has it been under guard since the incident?
I have only an Ashigaru and myself. It has been watched. Nothing really has disturbed it.
Are the kids still around?
The kids, yeah. No, the ones that we're talking with. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, perception investigation.
Okay. Because, I know how fucking kids are in crime scenes in my world. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same in Rokugan. These fucking little shit eddas running around, a crime happens, the adults aren't watching it, they want to go in and fucking poke around themselves.
Take anything of value. It's like an Italian wedding. If it's not nailed down, it comes with them.
I got a 27.
You see a top knot floating in the window as you guys are back in your area. Outside, it's the same window that Akoma was talking from.
I'm going to turn to the magistrate and say, Magistrate, would it be okay for my associate and I to question at least one of your Edda, one of the children?
Again, remember, Yasawa is here as well. And the magistrate says, yes, you may ask and question anyone you wish. We want to get this thing solved right away. Time is of the essence. Time has already passed, and I will take you wherever you need to go. I will help you in this investigation. And then you notice that Asawa Sakane says, I too will assist you in this investigation. Kinto was of my clan, and I would like to be of all help that I can in order to get this matter resolved, even if it is dark and unsavory.
Very good, and I appreciate it. And then I'll turn around and I'll walk over to the window and I'll slap the the sill and I'll say, "Boy, I can see your top knot. Come in here."
Like a weed in the wind, you see that top knot start shaking, and you hear, "He caught me! What do you mean he caught me? I was hiding. I was like a ninja." And then you hear a female voice say, "There are no such things as ninja, and you weren't hiding very well." And her face pops up and says, Hida-sama. And you see her bow really low, tears in her eyes. Please do not kill my brother. He did not mean to disgrace himself in front of such prestigious ones such as yourselves. Please, and she forces her way onto the ground. Do not kill my brother. He's not going to kill me. I didn't do nothing wrong. And he looks
No,
up at you.
no,
I wasn't
no.
dropping
Easy.
no eaves, honest, sir.
Easy, child. I'm not going to punish your brother as long as he cooperates with what I'm about to ask him. Now, please get up and come in here.
The girl comes over, and the boy is still shaking. And he says, and you hear him say, "I'm not a ninja," and he runs around the corner. Think of Nicolas Cage trying to act like a ninja or a superhero, and that's what he's kind of doing along the sides. And he looks at you.
It's Ghost Rider.
That or Convicts in the Air, or whatever. I can't remember the movie.
So
Con
he's
Air, yeah.
so he's kind of he's venerating ninjas a little bit here, right? He's acting like it's kind of like cool or heroic.
He did for a moment until he figured you overheard what his sister was saying, what he's saying, and then he's not. But he's coming around. But he's trying to be all cool and kid-like.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking stand up as tall as I possibly can when he comes in and cast Kasada's shadow on him, and I'm gonna say, "Let's get one thing straight right now, boy. Ninjutsu is not something to speak of lightly or in polite conversation or to revere. Number 2, present yourself like a man."
When you say that, you see his sister kind of just shaking, just trembling, and she grabs the back of his head, grabs that top knot, and they both go down. And he's resisting. He's trying to stand there staring at you and stuff, like he's a man. But she's stronger than him and older than him and bigger than him, so she just slams his head into the ground. "We're so sorry, Hida-sama." And he's like struggling to say something, but his face is implanted in the Tommy mat that he's gargling his voice between the Tommy mat and his lips.
No. You don't need to apologize to me, but we will keep a modicum of decorum here. After all, this is imperial business. Now rise, boy. I have some questions.
He's still on his knees along with the girl, but they both are sitting on their heels.
Hey, Clay. From the back of the conversation space, I'm going to ask him if he would like his parents to go to prison for his sins. I'm going to, in mechanical terms, I'm going for intimidation control. I'm going to try to scare him into answering these questions honestly.
Okay, target number is 10. Raises will do more.
It's not going to be hard for me.
Are you calling any raises?
No, I'm not going to call raises. I'm just trying for the basics here on this one. Again, I don't believe I lose honor for this. I need to check on exactly how that works. Actually, I won't because he's an ETA anyways.
Correct.
17. I could have gotten a raise on it, but nah.
You all hear trickling sounds, and you see liquid form at the base of the boy's knees. Do you acknowledge it or do you ignore it?
He's an ETA. I'm not going to acknowledge anything.
I'm okay with that. He should be scared right now. Like I want him to.
There's a puddle around him and his sister.
Now I'll keep my intense gaze on him. I'll say, "Do you know who I am, boy?"
You're a bear.
I'll say, "My name is Hida Kenpachi. I'm Kasada's son. I'm the Topaz champion and I'm an Emerald magistrate. I'm here on imperial business to investigate the murder."
He kind of looks at you for a moment. This year, Kikita Kaneki is going to win. He's going to become the new Topaz champion. I just know it. It's what. And then he stops.
You want to glower at him or me?
You can glower at him. I'm gonna reach into my belt and I'm gonna withdraw a jade finger and I'm gonna toss it to the boy.
He grabs it.
When he grabs it, I'll stop and I'll just look at it to see if it turns black at all.
Nothing happens.
I'll get a.
He asked me Shadowlands tainted to think somebody besides me should be Topaz champion.
I'll let my I'll let my expression lighten a little bit. Then I'll say, I need you to answer me 100% honestly, boy. After the murder, Kinto's place has been unguarded for the last couple days. Watched, but unguarded. I know the way that kids think. And I'm going to lean in and get a little bit of a dour look on my face. And I'm going to say, did you and any of the other children go there and see what happens? Maybe poke around in the basement?
No, sir, the girl says, and then the boy says, nope.
He's a bad liar.
Yeah.
Do I even need to roll sincerity to tell that he's a lying son of a bitch?
No, you both know.
Okay.
I'm going to say,
Roll.
let me explain something to you, boy. The Emperor endows the Emerald Champion with the power to investigate imperial matters within the Empire. The Emerald Champion endows me with power to investigate on his behalf. I am one step removed from the authority of the Emperor. Do you seriously want to look at me and tell me a lie one more time?
Your hulking, threatening appearance starts to shake the boy, and he starts to shake a little bit. I don't lie. And then he kind of just passes out. The tension and the buildup and everything that's been going on, he just, Forgive us, Emerald Magistrate. My brother is not feeling well.
I'll turn to the.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I'll turn to the girl. Say what you're gonna say after this, but I turn to the girl and I say, "The boy. I don't know if you were part of this or privy to it. Was poking around the house."
He may have done so, but he didn't go in.
I'll narrow my eyes and say, "Is there a place where the boy goes from time to time by himself? Maybe he stows away random items or treasures that he takes."
My brother is no thief, she says in a strong voice.
So I was just going to say, this game has turned into like the all-American abuse game. We've stripped a woman naked in the street, murdered a mama son, broke a kid's arm, tortured somebody, and now we've intimidated a child into passing out. I'm just going to say it.
And I will say, I did not say your brother was a thief. Are you accusing me of that?
She starts to quiver. Never, Ida-sama.
I say, but the question stands. Does your brother have a place that only he goes to? You're a child. Perhaps you've seen him.
No, I have duties to others. My brother is a child, like you said, and he may store things away, but he would never take what is not his or what was not given.
I look down at the boy who's passed out in the puddle of his own piss after lying to me and venerating a ninja.
Why does this little kid sound like Posey? Just gonna throw that out there, dude.
And I'll nod and say, "All right, then I am satisfied for the moment. If you can help your brother up, you both are free to go."
She doesn't help him up. She just starts to drag him out, and you see a colored mark trail behind him.
This is awesome.
So
at that same moment, you notice that the proprietor, the employees of the place come and they start to clean up.
I'll turn around and I'll have this will be the first time my character has probably ever spoken of Edda in this way, but I'll turn around and I'll look down with a slightly disgusted look on my face and say, dealing with Edda can be difficult. They often do not possess the same sensibilities that we would expect out of even the Hinin class. But I'll look over to the Asawa and I'll say, I do think the boy poked around. I doubt, based on what he told me, that he went into that basement, which is good. I would suggest, though, that we muster somebody to keep a watch on the place for the time being. It would be a pity if the boy somehow got down there and took something that could really damage him or the rest of the people in the town.
That is true. And also, Makoto, the other young boy, is missing as well. Anyway, where would you like to start? We should, time is of the essence if something has gone missing or this is dark.
I'm gonna suggest going to the basement because it's possible that I could reconstruct the runes and stuff on the broken tablets using my calligraphy.
That is a
And
very
see
good
if we
idea.
couldn't, just see if we can't at least figure out what they said. I mean, it's not like we're going to actively try to cast the bloody Maho.
And I'll say my Yojimbo can assist you, knowing that she's a Shugenja. You don't know that though.
Yeah, I don't know that. The Akodo did, but I don't.
I will. I'll say she's strong, and anything you need moved without it being disturbed, she'd be willing.
I'm gonna, which leads to the
alright.
question: what is the magistrate's first task here?
My plan while you were investigating the basement, I will investigate the backyard and the wall.
Okay, works for me.
Okay, you're going to the house then. Okay, put it on my notes. Okay, on the surface, as you approach the house, like the other buildings here, are nicely done. The door is slightly ajar. And what would you like to do?
Which one of us do you want to handle first, Clay? Which would be easier? Because all I was going to do is start roll calligraphy and see how well I could put back together those runes. But I don't know how involved you want that to be.
Okay, you go through the front door. Following what the magistrate had told you, he'll follow you if you go inside, and the Asawa will go with you, Hida.
Excellent.
As you enter, you notice that everything looks to be ramshackled. You also notice that there is a trap door in the middle of the main bedroom, and you see that there is a tatami mat off to the side. The door is open in the trap door area. As you go down beneath, you notice that there's only room for you and one other. Who are you going to ask to accompany you?
I'm taking the Ojimbo down.
Okay. As the two of you guys go down below, you hear the otaku kind of breathe out through her nose really roughly. This is a bad place, she says. And as you go down, you see a white chalk circle has been etched in the dark earth, surrounded by candle stubs, and a trio of bronze bowls. All the bowls are stained with a black substance. You can give me an investigation roll if you will. Kin is 15 at base. You can do raises to increase it.
Intelligence investigation or perception investigation?
It'll be intelligence.
Okay, well, I don't think it's going to matter. Is it, actually, it will. It'll give me more dice.
As you can see it now, but you're trying to identify.
It's going to be 2 more dice for that. That's fine. I'm just double checking, making sure. Look, 10. 2 10s, actually. Okay, 19 plus 16 is 35. 35 plus 7 is 40. 42 plus another, let's see, next one's 4. So 46.
Okay, you were able to determine that just looking at this stuff, that it is blood within the bowls, and you were able to determine that it was last used probably 6 days ago. Or, excuse me, 8 days ago, just kind of your recalling knowledge that you heard, medical information.
Mhm.
And it was done 8 days ago. If all records are to be assumed correct, 6 days ago the Sekenja died.
Okay.
2-day difference. You also notice the broken remains of several clay scroll tablets scattered about. Do you have Shadowlands or Mahu lore?
I do not, but I do have calligraphy, which my goal was just to reconstruct the runes
Okay,
and
go
let
ahead
somebody
and
else figure out what they are.
give me a perception calligraphy roll. Target number is 35.
Sounds good. Said perception, right? So 3,
Mm-hmm.
5K3. Okay. So I had to figure out what the die. That was an 8. No, I freaking bumped it. No, it was an 8. Okay, so there's an 8 on that. Let's see it go. I hate when I knock a dice over. Okay, there's 8. There's 13. I got a 19.
You're unable to put the tablets together. Are you sketching them out, or are you trying to like a puzzle, put them together?
Kind of like more like a puzzle, as best I can.
So you're moving them around, putting them together? I'll take that as a yes, sir. You're moving these clay tablets around, trying to put them together, but you know that you've not done it right.
I'm going to look at the Ojimbo, who's probably freaked out at this point, and see if she can make heads or tails of them. I'm going to ask her if she can make heads or tails of them. I'm happy because I'm having a hard time.
I think Hida-san will be able to know about this. Yes, this is Maho magic. It is good you couldn't put it together. I hear that if you do so, or recite it, that you cast the magic. There is enough blood here still, even though it is old, that it might still empower a spell.
I am not suggesting that we cast anything. I'm just suggesting to get an idea for what he was doing with these tablets.
It is Mahu magic. That is what he was doing. And then you hear from above the Asawa, my cousin is a good man, and he was framed for this. There's nothing to say that he is doing this. He is missing. He was murdered.
The Otomo will shout back up the stairs, the Rokugani equivalent of, I think the lady doth protest too much.
She doesn't say anything. She just gives you the dead eye. I will cut there as you're kind of scoping that out and return to Andrew. What are you doing in the back?
I'm gonna look at that broken wall.
Okay, you look at the broken wall, and it looks like some kind of large creature or big man just tore through here.
Okay, so I'll go over to it. What was the wall made out of?
It was made out of thin cut lumber, very thin, almost paper-like.
Okay, so I don't think it would take too much for us to break through it.
No.
I'll look down at the ground leading up to the wall. Do I see any signs of like any tracks or anything of that sort?
No, not really. Some trampled marks, but you'd have to spend more time analyzing it. You can determine it looks like people walk through here.
Any scuffing? Is there like any wood around the house? Like any scuffing on the wood?
As
Coming
you
up
enter, you
towards
seem to, as you make your way towards the building and you make your way, you see that you're looking into a sparsely furnished room, and it appears to be the room of Makoto, the kid that was helping him out, with only a bed mat and a low table for studying on the. You see scraps of torn scroll paper lying scattered on the floor through this area, decorating with elementary writing scrawls in a shaky hand.
Now, I mean, we're kind of assuming that something broke in instead of broke out. Like, if I go in and turn around and look at the wall, is there any evidence at all with the way that the wall bursted open that might suggest that someone actually broke out of the wall?
I won't make you roll. Yes, it looks like someone came inside out.
Okay, so I'll take a note of that, and I'll say to the Asawa, I'll say, actually, to me, it looks like somebody broke out rather than broke in.
It is possible.
And yeah, I'll try to point to him where I see like the proliferation, like the explosion where it like proliferated out rather than in, like where you can see the wood splintered that way. And I'll say, now this is Makoto's room, correct?
Makito, yes. This
Makito.
is his things. Kento is giving him lessons in writing, and he points to the ground with all the writing.
Okay. I think it would be pragmatic for us to take a sample of this writing and give it to my compatriot to analyze. If there are markings down there on these clay tablets that are of a Maho Tusky nature, perhaps we can identify the writing as the boy's rather than Kinto's.
Are you going to look into it? If you're looking into the writing, you can give me a perception investigation check.
I will not look into the writing, but I will take a sample of the writing. Well, you know what? I'll just read it first of all. I'll pick it up and I'll read what the writing says.
Okay, go ahead and give me that that investigation perception check as you're reading it.
Okay. 28.
You're able to get it. You see Sandra Mizumura is written a bunch of times.
Does that mean anything to me?
You think it's an address and a name, but you're not sure of the town name.
And what was it one more time so I can write it down?
Sanda Mizumura.
Mizu or Nizu? M or N?
Mike India Zulu uniform.
Okay. Mora. Sanda Mizumura. Or Sanda Mizumura, yeah.
Yeah, Sanda Mizumura. And it kind of strikes at you that this. Go ahead. Do you have geography or geography or anything about landmass or history if you want? You give me a history check. Your sage would apply.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I'm going to use a luck roll. I'm going to use my second luck point. Just why not? There we go. That's a little bit better. 20, by that, I mean a lot better. 36.
You know that Sandra Mizumura is a large city within a week's ride of here.
Which direction?
Southeast.
So that would be towards Crane Land?
You'd
or
be,
between Crane and Crab?
You're still within Crablands.
It'd still be within Crablands, okay. So I will not. Well, actually, I'll say to Asawa. Seems that he was learning how to script Sandu Mizumura, which, if my memory is serving me correct, Asawa, is a small city within about, how long did you say?
A week's travel.
About a week's travel from here into Crablands. But I think there may be more at play here. Here, let us take a writing of the sample and go catch up with my compatriot.
A writing of the sample.
Dyslexia. A sample of the writing.
Okay, I'm double checking on this.
And yeah, I'll take it down.
So you guys meet up if you want to meet inside the hut or out. It's up to you.
I'm good with meeting outside this hut. This hut's kind of creepy.
No, I don't think there's any way that what you did took less time than what I did. So I think you'd still be in the basement.
True.
So it'll be in the basement. I'll go in the basement.
Okay. Since it's only Yoko will come back up and let you down. Kind of tight with your large body down there with him, but
You see the same thing. You see the summoning circle. You've seen this before. City of Stories in the warehouse. Something very familiar. Go ahead and give me an intelligence, Shadowlands, or Mahu.
Okay, and that's lore, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a lore check, yep.
Yeah, so Sage.
Which means it's a sage check, because I fucking want it to be.
Oh, I fucking blew this one out of the goddamn park. 51.
Good
Okay.
lord.
You're able to determine what's going on. And with what you rolled, let me scroll down, that you are looking at the Mahu magic. Mahu Tusky spells are on these tablets. They're crudely written and the nature is fragile. You know that this guy is not a very skilled black magician. That his link to other Mahu Tusky is shaky at best. You also see a depiction of the porcelain mask that you have, and you see in one of the writings that there are actually 3. You also, as you are determining this as well, you see a scroll that was not caught earlier that writes out that Mikito. You see that same writing from earlier, the same type of writer.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do it too.
What I'll do then is I'll take out the sample of writing I brought down with me, and as I do so, I'll kneel down before handing it over, and I'll say, yep, this was done by a Mahu Tusky user. New, not very skilled.
You hear from above, could it be Makoto is actually the one that did this? Then you hear that woman's voice from the cell. Yes, he did it. This boy was not who he appeared to be. We should track him down and bring him to justice to clear my cousin's good name.
Hold. There's at least one last check to make first, and I'll hand over the scroll to you. And I'll say, this is the boy's writing. I took it as a sample from upstairs. Does it match?
Go ahead,
Could I do that?
Asala, and do your
Could I do that as a calligraphy check, like a intelligence
Yes.
calligraphy? That's actually a pretty good little check right there for me. Okay. Let's see. 15 plus 5. I got 20 on the nose.
Okay, you're able to determine that it is the same author of both that script that he showed you and the scroll below.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with the Emerald Magistrate.
Not the scroll, Clay, but the tablets. I want him to compare it to the tablets to see if the script for like the spell is written in the same like
Yes,
the same hand.
it is.
Okay. Either way, I'm gonna tell him that I agree that this is definitely the boy doing it, but I believe the Yasawa should be left out of this investigation. She's become emotionally compromised, and therefore not as objective as she should be.
I have every right to defend my clansman if he's being used. We should capture the boy and question him.
You only have a right to defend your family as long as you can remain objective. If your family is guilty of crimes, then they must be held accountable.
That is why the Emerald Magistrate is here, and the Lion Magistrate who is responsible for this town.
I'm just gonna shake my head at that.
Let us speak of this in a moment. There's still one last thing I need to do. Would it be possible for the rest of you to give me a moment alone?
Yes, one moment, gentlemen.
I'm fine with that. Dude, I'm really starting to feel like crap. Holy shit. I'm trying to like keep upbeat about it. Jesus Christ, my tongue is starting to fucking hurt.
Your tongue is starting to hurt? Jesus.
The right side of my tongue is swelling. That's how fucking bad my allergies are right now. It's miserable, dude. I can't quit from coughing. Dude, what kind of shot was that? Sorry. So I was telling you earlier, these people are like, here, just do the same things you're already doing, but not getting better.
Okay, sorry, gentlemen. Go ahead.
So I'll
yes.
ask. I ask the others if they will give me a moment alone.
Since I'm the only one downstairs with you, I'm definitely going to agree because I'm kind of creeped out by this downstairs.
You're left alone, but you notice that Yoko is still above you.
That's fine. I'm fine with Yoko seeing what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw out the mask from underneath my armor.
As you draw the mask out, you get the feeling you're being watched. And it is really creepy with the just the scene before you and everything else.
And I'm gonna walk around with the mask out and see if there's any sort of adverse reaction.
Go ahead and give me an awareness investigation.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a TN of 30. If you do raises, you'll get more information. If you don't meet it, you don't feel anything.
No, I can't. I'm not good enough. So 30 will be what I go for. We got one explosion. 15. Ah, shit. Okay, I gotta use my third luck point. So fucking close.
And continuing our last arc, this arc's message will continue being, and I spend my luck point.
Okay, I got 32.
Okay. As you're walking around, again, it's a very small area. Only fits about 2 people if they were laying down, normal size Rukagani. And you're walking around, you're stepping on things, you're looking around, and you're looking at the mask. Are you wearing your helmet, or is that off?
My I would be in my armor, so yeah, I'd have my helmet on.
Okay, you're looking at it, and the mask is looking back at you, and you just see, you feel a deja vu feeling, and you think for a moment until you blink, you see smoke kind of bellowing from the eyes of this mask, and you kind of blink again, and you feel smoke bellowing from the eyes of your helm. Your helmet is down if you're wearing it, and you get the smell of cherry blossoms enters your nose, mixed in with a very burnt blood smell. That opening that you felt earlier whenever you access the void and take on Void Dragon's essence, the connection you have with them, you feel it as if it opens, as if a drawbridge is lowered, and there's a connection.
When I wore this mask before, did it do anything to my vision or my perception?
No, you don't remember. You remember putting it on, and you don't remember how you got it off, but it was in your hands when you took it off.
I'm going to look at it for a moment, like with the mask palm down, knowing that Yoko's looking at me, and I'm going to like visibly consider putting it on.
I would not do that, Mapachi-san.
And I'll say,
if she looks around, making sure everyone's gone, and it says, "You can't read what I read." She shakes a little bit nervous, but there are 3 masks of that type. Something is wanting these masks. That guy had one of them, and she kind of points over that you can't see because you're still below. One mask was hanging above this entryway. If it corrupted him or that little boy, we must find the little boy. Or we must investigate further. Maybe it is here.
I understand, but I thought perhaps the mask, if I were to wear it in this place, might reveal to me a secret.
Are you willing to condemn your soul for such a secret?
I will purse my lips and say, "You think I won't be able to return if I put this mask on?"
If you willingly accept evil into you, even Jade may not be strong enough. My cousin, no, her brother. Boy Dragon was Yoko's brother or cousin. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, brother. Wait.
My kinsman, she'll just say
Brother.
kinsman.
It was brother. It was brother,
Brother.
because I think it was Dennis's cousin, right?
Yeah, it was brother because she went in with you and Void Dragon. My brother accepted darkness within. You notice that she's losing honor by bringing him up when he's kind of excommunicating everything.
Okay. I'll take the mask and I'll start to tuck it back in. We don't need to speak about Void Dragon. I understand.
But we need to find the mask. We need to get it out of their hands. And if the Kuni was here and he was taken out, or he is on the hunt for this boy, he may need our help.
Well, it seems that the obsession with the Sanda Mizumura would lead us to believe that that should be our next location, our next target. Perhaps the Kuni will manifest himself on the road, though I doubt if he does, it'll be for the better. Most likely, something horrible has befallen him.
It's a possibility. And she reaches down to help you up if you're leaving. This place should be burnt, purified.
It should be. I'm hesitant, though, at least without knowing what the Kuni saw when he looked at it. It's a shame. There might be more information here that you and I were not able to extract, but I
Then
think
let us leave it till next time.
the thing is, though, if we're going to leave the city or the small town, I'm not sure I trust keeping it in their hands to be guarded, because I know that boy was poking around in here. He might have even been so bold as to come down here. I couldn't tell for sure.
Let us get out of this foul place then.
Yep, and I'll throw up the hands and let her help me out.
She does her job.
And yeah, I guess I'll join the others.
For the record, Andrew, when you're talking about putting that mask on, I can't help but think of the scene from Billy Madison where he's like, at no point did you come close to resembling a coherent answer. We are all now dumber for having listened to you. Because that is exactly how bad that idea is.
Also,
that is absolutely nothing like that.
Senda Mizumura is actually Clearwater Village, and that's in Crablands.
All right, yeah. Those two things are literally as disconnected as possible. Did you watch Billy Madison?
Some odd reason, I was actually thinking about the whole "we're now dumber for having listened to it" idea, but because I can't believe you even suggested it.
It's called role playing and thinking through the eyes of a character. You should try it sometime.
Fuck you. I do it all the time.
So, what are you guys doing now?
Not a certain somebody. I'm actually with the Ojimbo, though. If she comes up and recommends torching this place at some point, we probably need to do that because there's definitely a gateway to the Shadowlands now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my suggestion too. It's a pity, but it's got to be destroyed given the circumstance.
And then you have to like properly salt the land so nothing can come through ever again.
What is it? The Lion Magistrate says, we'll put in words for Sekenja to come. Again, he doesn't know Yoko. It's Yoko. And we will get it purified and burnt when they get here. We will send word. We will have it done.
Until then, I recommend that you guard it ceaselessly. It would be a pity if one of those kids got in here and bit off more than they could chew.
Of course. What is now to be our point of action?
Well, if you take my counsel, which I think would be wise, I say we start heading on the road to Sanda Mizumura.
Of course, I will prepare. And you see the Sawa, I will also prepare. My cousin must be cleared of such a heinous possibility. And she leaves, and the Lion are leaving, unless you want to say or do something.
Oh, I will say something. I'll say, like, one moment. Based on what I overheard a few moments ago, the exchange you had with my compatriot, it feels like I have to make some kind of judgment on this since I am the one running this investigation. And my judgment will be that you be included in it as long as you're able to keep your emotions out of it. Can you do that?
Of course.
And I don't mean that as an insult at all. Ardor is a very important thing.
Straight up, the Tomo is going to scoff at that. She's
I
proven she can't keep her emotions out of it.
But
Like
as
all women.
as a representative of the Emerald champion in this matter, I did have to ask.
Of course. And with that, you guys prepare to leave for Sandra Mizumura, Clearwater Village.
Indeed.
And I am going to let it end here. I know we started late, but I wanted to at least get this down to get you guys further on your investigation. Shit is about to hit the fan.